What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to the first episode of Nostalgiarama, a series where probably weekly I'll go through and play an older game that you may have missed back when it first came out. I'm well aware that my audience has varied, I guess is the way I would put it. My audience has varied ages. There, I can speak today. My audience has varied ages, and games like these might not have been in vogue when they were playing other things like Minecraft or whatever else, but a lot of these older games, and it's weird to refer to This War of Mine as an older game at this point, but it's been a while since the game came out. It's weird to refer to it like that, but I think this is one of the best indie games ever made. And so the first inaugural episode of Nostalgiarama is going to be about This War of Mine. We're going to sit down, play the first little part of the game, and hopefully it gets you excited and you go out and get it for yourself. Let's go ahead, and we are going to go with another try. I'm going to put it on Anniversary Edition mode because it has a bunch of bonus content that I think will be fun. We probably won't get to it in the first episode, because we're just going to do one standalone, essentially. However, I don't have the DLC for the children. It just wasn't something that appealed to me. But we can go on random right now, and we'll see what group members we get. The group members that are generated into your campaign, and if you've never seen this game before, it's a heavy, drama-filled survival game, essentially. You're in, like, the Siege of Sarajevo, and you're a bunch of people that are trying to survive while the army is raping and pillaging, and people are being bandits, and everybody's robbing and stealing and murdering. And it's about the psychological effects of surviving in that environment. Like, yes, it is a survival game, but this game's kind of heady in the sense that your characters grow along the way, and it's got emergent storylines where your characters, as they murder people, or as they don't murder people, as they steal or as they don't steal, as they do good things or as they do bad things, psychologically they begin to either build themselves up or break down a little bit. And every character has different strengths. Some are strong-willed, some are strong-backed, some are good at mechanical things and they get bonuses to building. But it really kind of depends, and I find the game to be the most fun when you play it on random, especially since I've pretty much beat the game with every setup anyways, so we'll see what happens here. The beginning of our game event should be kind of interesting. I don't know what we're going to get, but the beginning of the game, it is very cold. Okay, so we're going to have to focus on staying warm. That's the first big part of this whole thing. Starting out in winter kind of front loads the difficulty of the game, but if you can survive the front part, the back end of the game will be easy peasy because this is by far the hardest event in my opinion. The crime wave, there's a crime wave where people are trying to break into your house and go all zombie apocalypse on you all the time, which kind of sucks. But this one will work out. We got hopscotch inside the house. We got hopscotch on the inside the house? Damn. We're living that good life right now. It looks like we got, I don't know who that is down there, if that's Boris or who that is. It looks like we got months of incessant bombardment have turned this part of town into a sea of ruins. While most of the residents have fled to seek shelter in districts less exposed to sniper fire, the abandoned tenements attract those less fortunate and who have nowhere else to hide. Marin lost everything in a fire that destroyed his workshop. Boris and Amelia once had families and now they are the only survivors. They come across a house that still offers some protection from the elements and decide to weather the siege together inside of its walls. And so there you go. Those are our three survivors. We have Boris, who is slightly sick right now. We have Amelia, who's a lawyer. We have Marin, who is a handyman. And so anyways, the first thing we're going to want to do is start scavenging the remains of the house. So I'm going to send Marin over there to go grab that. It is very cold right now inside of the house. It's pretty chilly. We've got a little bit of fuel right there. We've got some components, some sugar, some water, and some wood, and a little bit of fuel. I'm going to get him started up there. I'm going to get her started up there. I'm going to get him started with the fuel down here. Go ahead and get the fire going so we don't get sick. You're already sick, but there's not much I can change about that right now. I can't really do a whole lot. I'll let him sleep in bed tonight and hopefully he gets better. The more cold it is, the better the chance that you get sick in the middle of the night, and so I'm trying to avoid that. You guys get started on that rubble pile as well. Actually, you scavenge. I'm going to have you build stuff while they get rid of the rubble piles and we clear out the house. There's two different house models. We got the crappy one. I like the house model that has the tree house in the back because it usually comes with extra loot and extra things you can break down. We got components, we've got sugar, we've got water, and we've got some wood right there. Sounds good to me. We got to break down this barricade right here so that we can get after the loot that's inside of this area. So he's going to get busy humping the wall right there, and hopefully that turns out to be fruitful. Oh, that's locked. You can't even get in there. Okay, well then you come down to this floor and you work on that rubble pile. He's got the barricade off, and we're going to go ahead and open up this loot pile right here and see what we get. We've got ourselves some food, some parts, some sugar, some water, some electrical parts, and some fuel. Very, very nice. You get up here, let's keep looting. They can only go on the ladder one at a time, so they're going to get stuck every now and again when one person's trying to go up and one person's trying to go down. But I don't judge. Let's see what we got inside of here. We've got ourselves parts, sugar, some water, and some electrical parts, and some extra fuel. Good. We should be able to get at least like a week's worth of fuel out of this place, I hope. If we don't, it's going to get nasty. We got some sugar and some electrical parts right there. Let's go ahead and stoke this up a little bit more. I'm actually practically just going to dump all of my wood into the furnace for right now to keep us warm. Because even with the furnace on, we're warm, but we're not that warm. It's pretty chilly, so let's get this thing going right here. Let's get that thing all stocked up. None of it is left, so get up here and get that rubble pile. And she's done with that, and so she'll grab the stuff out of here. She's got for us parts. We've got ourselves some sugar, some water, and some electrical parts, and some extra fuel. Good stuff. You go over here and start working on that rubble pile. And if he's almost done down there, that's okay. It's only 11 o'clock in the morning. The game functionally works from 8 a.m. all the way till 7 or 8 p.m. And there's 2 phases to this game. Oh, the door was locked. That's right. I forgot about that. Well, then you get to work making a bed because we need him to rest tonight. We don't have really much of a choice in that regard. A little bit more of the same stuff that we had previously, along with some extra fuel. Sounds good to me. The temperature is up to 50 degrees, which is great. I have no complaints about that. You get down there, and can you get into this area? If you can get into that area, I'd say it's okay for you to start working on some rubble over there. We're going to build a bed first because we have a sick party member. And so we're going to put that right next to the fire so that they can get the rest that they need over the night to recover. Anytime that you're sick, there's a chance you'll get worse in the night if you don't sleep. And if you do sleep, things tend to get better. So we need something to open that lock right there. However, the game is generous in the sense that it allows you to start out with a furnace when it gives you the cold weather up front. Normally this happens on like day 30 or 40 of your playthrough, and it's kind of where the game starts to test you. Starting out with it's pretty difficult though too, no lie. It's not a fun event. If I put him to bed right now, he might be able to rest off the illness before nightfall, and we'll be able to use him to scavenge because that's Boris's ability. Boris is very good at scavenging, Amelia is very, very good at trading, and then I think he's good at building stuff, and so actually having her build that was a mistake. I should have had him do it. Let's go ahead and I'm going to have her move away right there. When people are resting and sleeping and whatnot, they tend to get in each other's way. I can't get in there. Never mind. I can't get rid of that. I was going to get rid of it, but meh. Go ahead and get rid of the barricade right here, I guess, and then we'll work on getting rid of that rubble once we've got ourselves all nice and settled. We're not going to be able to get into any of these cabinets. They're all locked. So we'll work on getting some lockpicks or something else a little bit later, but for right now, not really on the docket of stuff that I'm trying to get done at the moment. Hopefully he feels better. There's a slight chance if he sleeps all day, he might feel a little bit better. He's only going to have the chance to sleep for about 6 hours, though, so we'll see where his recovery goes. It may go up, it may go down. Meh. I'm hoping he gets better, though, by tonight. I really sincerely am. If he doesn't, then that's going to set us up for failure later on. It's going to be... I don't want to be behind the 8 ball when it comes to illnesses. That's one of the main things in this game that can kill off your characters. Even if you're a good player, there's a lot of RNG involved. So even if you know what you're doing, an illness can spiral out of control and mess you up really, really bad very quickly. And characters dying in this game is permanent. Once they're dead, they're gone forever. And you just never get that character back, and you're short of manpower and everything else. And so you kind of want to be careful about it. You go shovel some snow. Go ahead and get 5 portions of snow done. I would love to have that. We'll be able to boil snow a little bit later once we've got some of our basic infrastructure put together. But for right now, it's not something that I'm going to worry about too much. We don't have to feed anybody till day 3. So you can get away with feeding your people every other day if you really, really want to. You don't have to feed them every single day. I think there's an achievement for feeding them every single day, but it's going to be tough because sometimes you come in and you get like no food on your first day and there's just nothing you can do about that. Is he done with the snow over here? Great. And then he can work on a snowman if he wants. I don't know if the snowman is... I don't know if the snowman actually tangibly does anything. I think it makes their moods better, if I recall correctly, but I don't know 100%. Our workbench, we should be able to make fuel over there. That's probably a good idea. I'm going to dump the rest of our remaining fuel inside of here to keep the temperature up, because we're right on the edge. If the temperature is red, you're good. If the temperature is like bluish... it's getting a little bit worse, and if the temperature is fully blue to white, that means people have a huge chance of getting sick in the middle of the night, and you don't want to end up with a house full of housemates that are all sick as hell and unable to get their jobs done. Do we have the materials around that we can do anything sexy with right now? Let's go ahead and have a look. Let's see if there's anything cool that we can do over here to make things happen. So we can make some fuel right now. We do have some extra wood around. The main thing that I would recommend is right now the rainwater collector is not going to help us because all the water is frozen. A stove will help out more than anything else because that allows us to get water in the winter months. So it changes. If you were playing this game and you got a springtime start, you want to make the rainfall collector. If you got this game and you get the winter start, you want to make the cook stove first because that's where you boil off water at. He's working on that over there. I may just let Boris sleep for the night. I'm really hoping he recovers. He's slightly sick, so you sleep in bed. And we will take Amelia out to scavenge, and we will have Marin, I guess, guard the house for right now. We've only got the looted gas station at the beginning of the game, so that should be kind of interesting. I am going to go with... She doesn't need to bring anything with her. Let's go ahead and just scavenge. She's not going to be able to carry a lot of stuff out because she's not as strong as some of the other characters, but she will be able to carry some things out. And so we'll try to prioritize here. It looks like people drained it dry. Okay, we got a teddy bear right there. We got some parts and some components since it didn't blow up after the shelling. I'm going to try and make this real fast since she can't really carry much anyways. We have a whole bunch of stuff right there. I'll take it all. These components right here are usually some of the most valuable stuff you can get at the beginning of the game, so I would highly recommend you grabbing them. Having a big supply of those parts makes life a little bit easier. We've got rotten food right there. I want the weapon parts. I want those parts right there, and I will leave the rest. Throw the wood back in there, please, and clear this rubble on out. I'm actually going to make a catch-all pile right here so that I have to go all the way into the location to scavenge when we come back later. Locations will change in this game, so they start out, if it says there's no danger, there's no danger. But the stuff that's in the location will go down as time goes along. It'll disappear from other people scavenging it, and then other people might move in and start protecting the location too. And so in the early game, it's really good to prioritize getting as much stuff out as you can before those events start happening, because all the good stuff will get picked through and it will get taken. And later on, you kind of want to have a stockpile. By like day 15 or 20, you want to have enough food to last you like 2-3 weeks. You want to have enough water and moonshine and everything else to get you through the nastiness, because you don't really want to go out anymore. People start having guns. People start getting violent. It's a problem. It's a problem that I can promise you don't want to deal with. So anyways, it's also important to note as we get this rebel pile out of the way that you want to like be out of here by 3 a.m. If your character doesn't get home by 3 a.m., it makes them be delayed and it makes them be like extra tired and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm actually just going to load everything inside of there and we're going to cart it all out. We're going to grab everything we can from every single one of these boxes and we're going to put it all in the car out front, so that we can grab it the next time we come through very quickly and efficiently. Some sugar and some herb right there. A little bit of weed to get us through the day. Who doesn't love a little toke every now and again? It's not like an everyday stoner thing, but every now and again, man, it's nice to unwind. Especially now that it's legal. We got pills and we got medication. Hell to the yeah. We also have a point of interest right there. You can peek through keyholes to see what's inside of that room, but since it said there was no danger, it's almost 100% rats. I've never seen a location that said it had no danger have anything other than rats on it. What's this right here? There's a note under the table, not actually hidden, but it could easily be missed. From the style of the handwriting, you can tell it was written by a woman in a hurry. Milos, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I couldn't wait any longer. I hid some jewelry inside the books. Look for them in the basement, inside the carton boxes behind the barred door. Use it to stay alive. Please. God bless you, and I'm sorry. So the game does have emergent storylines. As you read these little notes and things, you'll find things around the house that kind of indicated what happened to the people that lived there. And it can be pretty heart-wrenching. It can be pretty sad. Now let's go ahead and dump this stuff off inside the car over here. We don't have a lot of time to play around with right now. Time is actually flying faster than I thought, mostly due to that rubble pile that we had to get out of the way. We'll go ahead and dump all the goodies inside of there. Perfect. And we will race off this way. There is a downstairs area. Let's go check that real fast because good stuff tends to be in the cellar. That's just my general rule of this game. We've got a barred gate right there. We need a hacksaw to get through there, unfortunately. So the good stuff and the jewelry are probably inside the hacksaw area. Normally, the good stuff on every map is hidden from you behind some kind of gate for your progression. We got a bunch of food and sugar and water right there. I will 100% take that. And as of right now, it's probably about time for us to decide what we want to keep and what we don't want to keep as we ravage through this place. Upstairs, we've got a dead body. He was killed. This man has been caught by the shelling. What was he doing here? That's probably poor Milos. Poor bastard probably got caught up in it looking for whatever her name was. Got some extra wood right there, and we are all full up, and we are unfortunately out of time. So let's get out to the car out front. We're going to loot the stuff that we want to take back right now for building and getting our house set up. And then from there, we'll start worrying about everything else. Why are you just standing there? I think she's confused about the barricade. Every now and again, you'll give them an order to go somewhere, and that's actually one of my few complaints is that the combat in this game is not that great, and then also the pathfinding can be a little bit boo-boo sometimes. So we've got, this freezes time, by the way, whenever we're in an inventory, so don't worry about it too much. We'll unload all that stuff into there. We are going to take that. We are going to take the pills. We're going to take the food. We're basically going to take the best stuff from this place if we can manage it. And then I'm going to take probably 20 components. And other than that, we'll take the rest of the Ooh, I don't know if I want parts or wood. We'll take the wood, I guess. I don't know exactly what I need. I didn't do a great job of tabulating in my head the numbers that I need in order to get stuff built. But Amelia made it back, so that's good. If you don't make it back, there's a chance they'll come back wounded or they'll be attacked by raiders or something like that. So make sure you get back home on time. It's a good idea. I'm now really hoping that Boris got better today. If he didn't, we're in a very real predicament. So we got the meds. That's good. Hopefully Boris is not sicker. Marin clearly isn't well. He could do with some pills. Yikes. Not good at all. Among things that are not good, he's hungry now, but that's good. Marin is now very sick, so unfortunately he needs to take pills, otherwise he's going to die. So I'm going to give him the pills. There we go. He's not tired, but he is hungry. She's tired, so I'm going to get her started on sleeping so that Marin can sleep later. With the stuff that she brought back, what can we build right now? What can we get going? So we can get a moonshine still going. I think that's a really good idea. I think that's got a lot of tangible benefits that are going to pay off later on in the game. Moonshine is a highly sought-after trading device in this game, and if you have a lot of moonshine, you can basically buy anything you want in the game, and it will help. I promise you. Prioritize making a moonshine still. It will do wonders for your survival. If you have like 4 moonshines every single time the trader shows up, you can basically buy anything that you haven't been able to get your hands on, from pills to guns to armor to building materials. You can get it all. So make the moonshine still. I promise you, you won't regret it. It's one of the best items in the game. So there's our cook stove right there. At the cook stove, we can go through and we can make fuel and things of that nature if we wanted to right now. I'm going to try and build one more thing, though, before I do that. If we're going to be doing any building, we want Marin to be doing it because he gets discounts on building things. So we can do the machine shop. I think the metal workshop is a really good idea because it gives us access to weapons. I'm going to put that right here. We're going to place it. And then for you, sir, do you get any kind of bonus to making fuel? It does. It actually only costs 1 wood when he makes it. Let's make 4 more fuel. Then with the 4 more fuel, we're going to use that for boiling water. We're going to use that for fueling the fire over here and making sure people don't get sick. We need to have a really, really good supply of wood. Otherwise, we're going to start struggling. The good news is that we can take Boris out tonight, and he's got 17 inventory slots, the biggest in the game. The only other character that's as good at scavenging is there's another guy who is a fireman, and he's really, really good at scavenging and breaking down barriers. And he's got 14 slots, and it's pretty solid as well. Other things that we can build right now, probably not much. We can't make a bed because we used up our wood right there. However, we can make ourselves... Oh, we can't make the moonshine still either. Well, the best that we can do for right now is to have Marin come down here. We're going to have him make some filters. You go ahead and fill up the fire again and make sure that that thing stays burning no matter what. We want that to be at high capacity, essentially, at all times. I want you to make filters. He doesn't get any kind of discount on filters, unfortunately. We'll use half of that on water filters because we are going to have to boil off some water pretty soon. That's going to be a non-choice. That's one that the game's going to make for us. And we'll get that going. I can't throw... It's already full of fuel. Okay, that's fine. Keep it full of fuel. What does the upgrade require for this? It requires a thermometer, and it requires some more materials. We're not going to be able to make the thermoregulator for a long while. So, unfortunately, we're just going to have to sit on our hands today and not really get much done. You go ahead and have a seat and just kind of hang out for a minute until she's all better. I had a beautiful girlfriend named Anna. We had a kid. He was a wonderful son. Luca was just like me. He was 7, and he was already stronger than all the other kids. I bet he would have grown up to be a great weightlifter like I always wanted to be if I could have saved him. And so that's what I mean, is this game's kind of dark, man. Like, the characters in this game are broken people for the most part. Boris is my favorite character because ultimately I think he shows the most transformation over the course of the game. Depending on what you choose to do, he either has like a massive redemption arc where he forgives himself for like letting his family die in the war, or he just crumbles, and it's just really, really sad to see. Like, legitimately. Like, it's one of those things where the poor guy, like, he gets utterly broken or amazingly fixed, depending on what you choose to do. And his story stood out the most to me out of everybody in the game. Some characters start out cynical and they find hope. Other characters have, like, tragedy and they've got to overcome that tragedy. It really just sort of depends on the character. The game's kind of wild like that. It gets a little crazy. The next thing we'll want to do is we definitely want to make a crowbar so that we can break into all these rooms over here and get the rest of the loot out, because you never know what you're going to get as a bonus. He's almost done with the filters. You should come up here and get started on the crowbar, please. Yeah, let him sleep. He has to get better. If he doesn't get better, we've got major issues. So there's our Kroby. We can make the crowbar right now. I'm going to make one of those, and that's going to be the remainder of our components. We physically can't carry any more out with us. He's done with that right there. I'm going to get him started on getting this rubble pile out of the way. Oh, yeah, that door was locked. Shit. Well, we're going to be doing a lot of burgling then, inside of our own house, I suppose, before things get any better. I think he's a smoker, too. Yeah, he needs cigarettes, and I think these two need coffee, otherwise they get depressed. Kind of a bummer about the things that... People have habits in this game, and if you don't stay up with them, and you don't, like, make sure they always have access to nicotine or anything else, they can have a lot of trouble. We can tell somebody else to feed him if we want, if we don't want him to get out of bed, but I don't think that's going to be pertinent right now. She broke that open, so go ahead and get started on that rubble pile. Maybe we can get it done by tonight. You get in there, break that open with the crowbar. We will also break that one open. Hopefully we'll get some more pills. That's what I'm really hoping for in case he doesn't recover. I'm kind of terrified. I don't like getting illnesses at the beginning of the game when I end up with the sickness event. It's hard to deal with. Because you haven't built up the stockpile yet to actually survive it. So there's our loot. We got more pills, we got more food, we got a lockpick, we got some books, and we got some fuel. Great. Absolutely fantastic. You come over here, and we're going to break into that locker now. And then we'll break into this place up here. And I don't think we're going to get all the rubble piles done by the end of the day, but we will get some of them done. And that's acceptable to me. Like, sometimes, this game, you got to hedge your bets, man. You're not always going to get the things done in this game that you want to get done, even if you perfectly manage your time. What do we get? We got a Band-Aid in case somebody gets shot or wounded or stabbed. We got some sugar, and we got some books. The sugar is for making alcohol, by the way, in case you were wondering what that is for. Go ahead and break that door open up there. We'll have him loot that, hopefully, by the end of the day. And I think we're off to a good start, given the relative pacing and kind of how we started out behind the... We started out behind the goal line. We really, really did. The winter event is hard to deal with at the beginning of the game. And so, luckily, I've got like 100 hours played in this game, and I've beaten it like 100 times, and so I know my way through. But there's still... It adds a layer of RNG to the game that makes things a little bit scary. A little bit more difficult than you would otherwise assume. So she broke into the door over there. You go loot that for me. You get started on the rubble pile. You're not going to get it done, but we can half-assedly get it started. As soon as you're done over here, we got 2 sugar and 2 water. That's a pretty terrible payday for a locked room. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of a shitty payday, not my favorite. Get down there and refuel the fire before nightfall. Hopefully he can get both the fuels put in there so it stays warm all night. Come on. You can make it, buddy. I know you're a little bit slower than everybody else, but damn, are you strong. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. A little bit more fuel for the fire. Raise that temperature up. Keep it maxed out as much as you humanly can. Perfect. I want it to be like upper 50s for the remainder of the night. That's not too cold. It's kind of cold. You'll need a windbreaker or a jacket, but I'm going to send him out to scavenge. She's going to stand guard. He's going to sleep in the bed and hopefully recover tomorrow. It's our best bet, and it's all that we can do. Let's go ahead and scavenge. We got lots of stuff to bring out of this place, and frankly, we've got very little time to do it. So let's go ahead and rip this place apart and see what we get out. We haven't even been in the back room yet. We pretty much got everything from the underground floors, so I'm not going to worry about that right there. Unless we get really desperate, I'll probably never come back here. It's a wasted scavenging trip, in all honesty. I know I just answered that as if you asked me, like, why would you do that? It's because it's a wasted trip. It's just not worth it. Like, there's not enough loot there to make up for the fact that I'm wasting a night being here. There's a whole bunch of components and a whole bunch of wood. Hell yeah. Get her going. And then on this side, we've got a loot pile right here. I think there's another one right there, and there's one on the roof right there. We're going to try and get it all. We need the wood. We need the supplies. We need all the goodies. Break that thing on open. Come on, man. Hump that door. Get it done faster. Show that door some smooth loving. You've been hit by a smooth Boris love. Inside of here. Oh, my God. More of that good stuff. Okay. Alright, we might be able to hit this place for a third run if we can get a hacksaw soon. But I'm not totally convinced. Maybe, maybe not. Hopefully we don't get robbed tonight. That's what I'm really worried about. If we get robbed tonight, we have no weapons, and so we're going to get tore up. We got some more stuff over there. Fill it on up. Everything that you can fit in the pile, and we are good to leave. Get down to the main room right there. Don't break an ankle. I know I see you over here doing hardcore parkour, but don't do it. Don't do it. Alright. Boris is good, and we're going to have to make some meals today. That's going to be the other half of the equation. We got to cook up some dinner. We got the water supplies, so that should be no problem. I'm going to try and get the moonshine still built, because I think somewhere around day 4 or 5, you get your first trader. And we want to have moonshine by the time that guy arrives, because we're going to use the first trader to get all the weapons and parts that we need to last us the next 5 or 6 days or so that if scavenging goes badly, we have a buffer zone. We have extra room to wiggle. I'm really hoping he's okay, but given the fact he's not out of bed, I'm not going to hope too hard. Boris has been searching for supplies and brought some interesting things. You're damn right he did. Are you better? He's slightly sick and he's recovering. Okay, well, we have 1 herbal medicine left. So let's go ahead and have him get put on herbal medicine. Have Boris go to sleep right now. On this side, I'm going to have you make dinner, actually. No, that's a neutral task that you don't get any bonuses or negatives for doing. Everybody needs to be fed today, otherwise it's not going to work out for him. So he's on meds now. Let's go ahead and get up inside of here and see what we can do with what we got going on right now. We'll go ahead and make a double meal right there. Little expensive. Not my favorite thing, but unfortunately necessary. We don't have any canned food right now, so I can't really feed somebody a canned food and then feed the other side right there. You go down over here, and I would like to see what you can actually go eat some food. You eat first. He's on the workshop. I definitely want the moonshine still. We are going to have to make ourselves some more fuel, too. Go ahead and make 5 more fuels, I guess. Get that started. And then for you, we're going to go over here and make ourselves a weapon so that we can defend the house a little bit better. It's kind of a waste at this point in the game, and we might not have the weapons that we need in order to make it. Yeah, we need 3 weapon parts, so never mind. That's not going to be an option. However, you can go up there, and you can clean out that rubble while we wait for Boris to wake up. And I think that sounds mighty, mighty fine. There's somebody at the door. I need help. Please open. I don't really have anybody that can help right now, because she's already tired, so if she goes to the door, she'll come back very tired. If he goes to the door, he might die of an illness, which I'm not trying to do. And if he goes to the door, he can't scavenge tonight. So he caught me at a real bad moment. He's got to wait it out. If he leaves, he leaves. I don't really know what to do for him right now. This is one of those big ethical decisions you've got to make in this game. And sometimes it'll turn out for the worse, and sometimes it'll turn out for the better. You never know. I guess I'll send Marin over there, but I'm worried about it. I don't think it's going to work out very well. Hey, neighbors. Good day to you. I live down the street and I noticed you're living in this abandoned building, and I've got news. There was a humanitarian aid drop last night. Most of the containers were confiscated by the rebels, but I know about one they missed. It landed in no man's land, so it might be dangerous to get to it, but if we go tonight, we should be able to make it. I'll show you where it is if you help me carry supplies, okay? Yeah, go ahead. This is a terrible mistake, but he can go with him. He'll bring back a bunch of stuff, though, if this works. Like, he'll bring back a whole bunch of goodies. No, finish the rubble pile, please. There's still loot inside of there, and I want it. At least he finished his task over here getting the firewood made. So that's okay. I'll have him cook dinner for himself in just a minute. Boil off some water with the filters that we made, and then make himself dinner so that he's not too hungry to get by. I think the people that needed to eat already ate, so we should be in okay condition. But yeah, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here. This game is called This War of Mine. If you missed it the last time it was on the channel years and years and years ago, this is Nostalgiarama, a series where I go back and I play games that you may have missed the last time they were on the channel, or old games that I really, really liked. Next week I'll have another one for you. I'm not going to set it to a strict schedule, but I am going to try and have one out like each week where we go back and look at an older game, because frankly I want to play older games and it's fun to do. If you wanted to get the game for yourself, I'm sure you can get this game like dirt nasty cheap on Steam somewhere after a sale. It's been out for a while, and so keep an eye out for that. We definitely can make that happen. Aside from that, I will see you all later. Thank you for stopping on in. It's been a blast, everybody. If you like this video, hit the like button. I would very much like it if you would. It helps me out as a content creator and makes it so that, you know, I get more exposure and I don't get left out in the shade, because there are a lot of YouTubers nowadays. If you wanted to join me live, I have been playing this game at twitch.tv/SplatterCatGaming. But aside from that, I don't really have much else to tell you. Hi to everybody, and I'll see you later.